I'm recording this video in March 2025, and I'm going to share with you the best cold email strategy that's working for our agency today. 2 days ago, we got this reply to one of our clients' outreach emails from Instantly.ai, which is one of the biggest names in the cold email space. They have over 30,000 users. They know cold email like no one else, and they were still interested in the offer and impressed by our outreach. So I'm going to be sharing what we did to achieve this, and you might be wondering why I'm sharing so much sauce. Well, it's because I know that most competitors watching this won't be willing to put in the work required to pull this off, even though it's actually what's working for us right now. But if you want to finally stand out from the crowd, then this is absolutely replicable for you. Now, to be clear, this video is not going to be an entertainment piece. It's going to be tactical. And this strategy that I'm about to share with you will only work for you if you are a B2B company and if there are more than 5,000 companies that you can help, and you don't sell a purely demand capture service such as storm restoration or cybersecurity. If you're still here, then strap in, because this has nothing to do with how good your case studies are or how saturated your market is. And here are just some examples of what results companies have gotten with this exact same system. Linkflow added $500,000 in revenue in 12 months. First Page added $96,000 in 60 days. 3Beacon added $80,000 in closed deals from 1 2-week campaign. Something added $360,000 in revenue in 6 months. Diginuity went from inconsistent lead flow to cold outbound being their #1 contributor to sales calls in just 2 months. And essentially, what we're going to do is start with a quick recap of cold email from what it was like before versus what it was now. Well, once upon a time, you could only send one cold email at a time, right? Now you can send 10,000 per day if you so choose to. With one a day, you can get into the nitty-gritty, but it's going to be gruesomely slow. With 10,000 a day, you can get into the right inbox at the right time. But honestly, in 2025, this is going to put you on this fast track to the spam box, even with proper infrastructure setup, warm up, spin tags, triple validating the leads, and doing everything that you can do to try to outsmart the hundreds of engineers at Gmail and Outlook. So what I'm talking about here is a strategy that involves sending a valuable email to the right person. Because if you think about it, if you absolutely needed one person to express interest in your offer in your email, what would you do? You would probably point out a problem, right? A problem that they might be facing that you can help them solve. Well, most skilled copywriters actually understand this and start calling out issues that their target audience face. But if you look at your spam box right now, and I looked at mine, you see this all over the place, and this is something I found in my inbox. Some people trying to call out problems that I might be facing. So clearly, this alone isn't working. Why is that? It's because they're not answering a fundamental question: why me in particular? As in, why are you reaching out to me? In my case, for example, I am Sergio. I am one of the co-founders at an agency that helps people book calls with their ideal prospects. So how does your offer have anything to do with either me or my specific company? What I'm describing here is the discrepancy of resonance. And resonance is what decides how people feel when they see your email in their inbox. Is it ignorable? Then they're going to ignore it. Is it totally irrelevant? Then they're probably going to mark it as spam. And when too many people do this, then your plans of blasting an otherwise decent email is completely ruined because there's going to be no leads generated from the spam folder. Okay, so resonance is important. So how do we achieve resonance? You achieve resonance by recreating as many circumstances as humanly possible for something that's worked in the past. So here's what that looks like. Most companies I speak to don't want to be responsible for educating a prospect on their solution. They want to work with somebody that they already know understands the value of their service, right? So if you are a PR firm, as an example, good luck trying to convince a freezing cold prospect that they need to invest in PR, right? And then if you actually do achieve this, then getting them started from scratch is going to take a long time. It's going to require a lot of assistance, and it's going to require a lot of buy-in from your prospect. And if they don't see an ROI or a good ROI on the horizon within 1 or 2 months, they're going to churn. So essentially, you only get paid for the costliest part of delivering the service. But what is a good solution for a PR firm? Maybe it's going to be a tech startup that recently raised funding and they're looking to become the dominant brand associated with their solution. Or maybe it's going to be an e-commerce brand that's in a super trendy industry and you can get them incredible wins incredibly quickly and organically because you're riding a very specific wave, right? I, in particular, have literally zero interest in hiring a PR firm right now. But that could change with the right outreach. Let's see what that might look like. So if a PR firm wanted to reach out to me in particular to help me buy into PR, it would have to be for a reason that resonates with me, right? So maybe something like this. Hey Sergio, I've seen on your YouTube videos that you're clearly a clay expert, and I'm not sure if you've heard that they're on fire right now, recent $1.3 billion valuation. We helped X marketing agency align themselves with that brand to ride that wave, and their inbound inflow went from about 3 or 4 to 35 leads in just 3 months. And then just some CTA that makes it easy for me to learn more and understand what I'm getting myself into. Okay? So at this point, now I am actually intrigued. So I'd like to learn more. But I'm probably not going to invest $10,000 a month on a premium PR campaign right now. So it'd probably be a good idea to nurture me and offer me an intro offer that addresses my perceived risks and has a clear outcome that I could expect as a way for me to dip my toe into the PR world. See how this works? So using AI, this PR firm could actually easily and quickly build a list of RevOps and go-to-market engineers, sales and marketing agencies, and pitch this email to them in particular. Now, that first line was very personalized to me, right? Because I make clay-related content on my YouTube channel, so that makes me the perfect person to reach out to. So what this means is that once you've created that list, you should score it for signals that make it possible to say something like that. I, in particular, use clay.com for this, so, that makes sense. And the first signal that I would check for in this particular case for this PR firm would be social channels like LinkedIn and YouTube to see if the contact has ever made, clay-related content. Another signal might be if they're in a clay-related group. Another signal might be if they align themselves with AI in general. And then you might just be able to come up with your own signals that you might want to look into. Now you can use clay.com to run a waterfall signal check for these signals in order from what you think is going to be the most impactful possible thing that you could say to perhaps a less relevant but still very relevant thing. And this way you can come up with a very specific and resonating email for each individual contact on your list. Okay, so this is exactly what we did for one of our SEO agency clients that got this response from Instantly that I showed you earlier just a couple of days ago. Well, what set of circumstances did we control for them? Well, our client has helped dozens of mid-sized B2B SaaS companies with SEO, right? So most agencies might have sent a message like this, right? Hey, we've helped dozens of mid-sized B2B SaaS companies 3x their inbound lead flow in 10 months with our SEO specialized services. Would it be worth a chat if you're interested? So this is actually a pretty well-written email. It's exactly the kind of email that would have worked 18 months ago, but it now fills our spam folders. And the only real reason for this is that it requires mid-sized B2B SaaS companies to happen to be on the market for this service. So you are just capturing demand where everybody else is always doing it. So instead, we went further. What else is there? Well, one of the first objections that we hear with SEO is how long it takes. But that's also only the case when there's no SEO presence. Sometimes there are actually quick wins to be had, and when there are, then this can be a much more compelling offer if they happen to be ranking just outside of the top 5 results on Google for these keywords. If so, then they met the criteria for this signal in particular. If not, then we moved on to other potential signals for this prospect. And this allowed us to send an email that was personalized to their exact situation in a way where our client can actually help them. So here's the actual email that we sent them. Here's a very quick win to get instantly more inbound leads. It looks like you're ranking number 7 for B2B lead database on Google. The top 5 results on Google get 80% of the traffic. And since you're at number 7, your page just needs a little push. I know SEO gets a bad rep for slow results, but this is one of the ways we ensure immediate results for our clients. In the background, we're working on compounding and sustainable inbound lead flow. And just so you know, Linkflow's done this for hundreds of SaaS clients. I can send case studies, or we can get started on pointing out all of the quick wins that we could work on for you. All right, so you can see how this is incredibly personalized to their exact situation in particular. Do you see the resonance there? Keep in mind that this is for an SEO pitch, which is often regarded as an industry where cold email doesn't really work because it's an oversaturated offer. I just wanted to share this example with you so that you understood the practical importance of achieving resonance with your email. You can see how this email is not spam because it's specifically written for the exact person that's receiving it. And this way, you can reach out to something like 1,500 leads in a matter of just 1 week with a hyper-personalized and relevant message. So what do you do with this? Well, the way I would go about it is to identify what you've done in the past that has worked. In the case of this SEO example, we identified a way to achieve a quick win that translates to more high-quality inbound traffic for the prospect. What can you do that's similar? Well, to help you kind of brainstorm, I've got 20 more different emails that have also booked calls, and you can actually look through these because on there, we also explained the resonance that we were shooting for and why it was successful. You can use these as inspiration, and I'll actually just share one quick example on here so that you know what you'll be looking at. So this is an example of a cold email that we sent for a client who had been trying cold email themselves with a traditional volume play. They literally got 0 results in a year. And when they came to us, we talked about their best case study, and maybe our first thought was to reach out to the same types of companies in the same industry about the results that they achieved. But obviously, this is what they had already been trying for a year and got no results. So instead, we changed our approach. What was it about this particular case study that made them, as an agency, achieve the results that no one else was able to pull off? Well, it turned out that the company that they helped in the case study was a brand that had a strong personal story behind the products that they sold. So the founder had a personal family health issue, and naturally they fixed it, and then they developed the product to do the same. Well, this is an inspiring story that my client used to set that brand apart from a saturated health and wellness space. And this marketing actually helped that company achieve differentiation and resonance, right? So it still applies to other types of marketing with families going through a similar story. So what did we do? Well, we just researched companies in their niche and identified the ones that had a personal founder story. So we reached out to those founders and we let them know that this aligns with our core principles or with our clients' core principles. This campaign led to 2 high-ticket monthly recurring clients for them, each worth well over $40,000 in lifetime value. So they went from 0 leads to 2 clients, and all that we changed was resonance. And you can see in this document that's linked below 19 other examples linked in the description to help you get inspiration for your own resonance. And you can also just feel free to reach out in the comments or on LinkedIn and I'll help you out. All right, speak soon. Bye-bye.